Alright, y'all, I'm doing my belly casting video. So I'm going to start off with the Vaseline that it comes with. It actually comes with everything you need. The kit that I got is a belly casting kit from Pearhead. Comes with everything you need. It includes 5 rows of no mess plaster, belly casting lubricant, which is the Vaseline, the plastic drop cloth, the non-latex gloves, and the sanding screen. So the first thing you should do is take your plaster and measure them going across your belly so that way you can cut them to the right length. I actually took my drop cloth and covered up my sink. I have my plaster strips laying on the side right here. I have my Vaseline, and this pink bowl that you see right here is my bowl of warm water. So the way that I have my drop cloth laying, I have it covering up my sink and everything around it. And then I actually have it in front of my body over my feet in order to protect my pants and my feet and my shoes and my socks to keep them from getting any plaster, water, or anything dripping on them. So I'm just going to tuck the thing around my pants good. Y'all can see I have on a bra, of course, instead of a shirt. When we get to the breast part, I am going to be casting my breast, but when we get to the breast part, I will pause or stop the video, and then I'll put the first layer on and then come back for the second layer. So I don't have any gloves on yet because I don't want my gloves to be covered in Vaseline. So I'm just going to use the Vaseline to spread on my belly. And you want to make sure you put a nice amount, and this is just to keep the plaster from getting into your skin and also from sticking to your skin. This basically creates a barrier between the plaster and your skin. So right now, of course, you can see I have my breast covered up. And so for that part, when I Vaseline that part, I'm going to do that before I do the plaster rows, or before I start to put the plaster strips on that part. So that'll be done during the pause of my video. And then I just want to make sure I get a lot of Vaseline. You want to make sure you get the entire belly and up the sides really good as well. Because if you're like me, you want to do the whole belly. And you want to get the sides, the entire bottom. I'm trying to get as close to my pubic bone as possible because my baby has already dropped. So I want to make sure that I get as much of his head and his back into this casting as possible. Literally the entire belly. I want the entire belly and the breast. So I'm just going to get my Vaseline on there really good all the way to both sides, covering the entire belly. Because I'm going to do mine from here to here. So I'm making sure I'm getting from side to side in the entire front of the belly. I'm going to put a little bit more Vaseline on there just to, I'm pretty sure I've got enough, but I haven't used very much of it so far. So I'll have a lot left. And of course I still have to do the breast area, but I'm still going to have quite a bit left. I'm not going to need the whole thing. So now that I've got that on there very, very good, it's nice and greased up or Vaselined up to protect the skin, create a barrier between the skin and the casting. I had pre-cut my strips so that way they would be ready. I have a rag laying back here for me to wipe this Vaseline off. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get that out the way. I'm going to get my gloves on. If for some reason my video stops, I'll start it back. So no worries. I'm going to pop the top back on that. and just sit it off to the side. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to take my strip, which I measured mine out already and pre-cut them to go from one side of the belly to the other. So you just want to submerge it into the warm water. And when you pull it out of the water, you want to try to keep it straight, but getting the excess water out of it. So I'm going to rub mine down like this to get the excess water out before I place it onto my belly and then smooth it out on the belly. So I have my drop cloth tucked into my pants, so anything that drips will not get on me. It will all be on the drop cloth. It won't be on my carpets or my bathroom floor. And of course, you will have a problem or sometimes where it kind of ruffles up on you. You just have to unwrinkle it. So just rub your hands back down it to get it smooth back out. And then I'm going to take it like this, and I'm going to get as close down to my pubic area as possible, and then I'm just going to wrap it around, lay it as flat as I can, and straighten out the other side that ruffled up a little bit. I'm going to wrap that side around and lay it down as flat as I can. Now by the time you dip it down in the water, so you can see part of my belly is still showing down there, so I'll make sure that that gets covered up. You want to smooth it out. Make it as smooth as possible. And then you also want to make sure that you do 3 to 4 layers in each section. So, got that one done. Now I'm going to take a smaller one because I have layers of them where I cut multiple different sizes. So I'm going to use this one, dip that one down in the water, get the excess water out of it. Straighten it back out as much as you can. Once you lay it down on your belly, it's a lot easier to smooth out too. I want to make sure I get all that excess water out. And then I'm going to try to get all the way down here as close to the plastic as possible. And then smooth it out. If it rolls up on you, just unroll it and smooth it out. You can see mine rolled up on me a little bit, and I'm just going to unroll it and smooth it out. You may find it easier to make your strips smaller, but that's completely up to you. So now I've got it all the way down to the bottom. And these dry pretty quick. And you want to make sure you do it in layers. 3 to 4 layers in each section is what it tells you. And that's to make sure that you got it thick enough. So I'm going to smooth this excess water out. It does start to dry fairly quickly, which is a good thing for me anyways. So now this is my second one, my second long one. Try to get that smooth back out. And you want to try not to suck your belly in like me. I sucked my belly in a little bit and you can feel it kind of like wrinkling up. So you don't really want to suck in to try to see your belly. You want to more so just kind of feel for it and just try to get your layers layered up. Kind of use your camera for you to be able to see really good, basically. Because if you suck in, then it makes the one that's starting to dry wrinkle. And that's not what you want. You want it to actually be your full belly size, not your belly sucked in. So, next strip. I'm going to try to move a little bit faster now. You'll be able to move a little faster once you feel like you're getting the hang of it. And remember, it's okay if it has little wrinkles in it because, of course, you're going to be able to smooth it out once you get it down on your belly. And I keep getting little strings that come out of mine, so I'm just taking those off and putting them on the drop cloth. And now I'm actually rinsing some of the plaster off of my gloves into the bowl of warm water that I have. Because it builds up on there and it turns into like little, what feels like little chunks of chalk, basically. So I got that one nice and smoothed out. Go ahead and go to the next one. I'm being very careful to pay close attention to make sure I'm covering up each spot really well. After you get the first layer down, it'll be a lot easier to go over top of it. So just smooth it out the best that you can starting out for your first layer, and then you can worry about making sure it's completely smooth once you get it on your belly. And it does start to dry fairly quickly. You want to make sure you get a lot of that excess water out of there. And then of course you can see it rolled up a little bit, so I'm just going to smooth it out. Little extra strings that come off, I'm just dropping them on my drop cloth. And it dries quick. The layers that I already have on there have already started drying. And when they start to dry, you can tell because it starts to pull away from your belly. So you kind of want to get it done pretty quick. You don't really want to waste too much time. So now that I've got that bottom half done, well, the bottom part, except for that area right there, I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more layers on, and then I will start the breast part. Just want to make sure we get it nice and smooth. So I've actually decided that I'm going to go ahead and move on to the breast part to get that first layer done. And I will come back. So I'm going to pause the video real quick and I'll be back in a minute. Alright y'all, I'm back. I got most of the boob area covered. So I found it easier to get your layers on the belly done first, because if you're doing it yourself you have to move your arms a lot. And if you do your 1 or 2 layers on your belly and then you do your breast, what happens is you're going to have to go back. Like moving your arms is going to make it loosen up. And you don't want to do that. So you want to do your layers on your belly first and then go back and do your breast. So get the 3 to 4 layers done on your belly first, then go and do your breast. Don't do a couple layers on your belly and then do your breast, because your breasts are going to start loosening up. Where you have to keep moving your arms, it's going to start moving around. So I recommend you do your belly first, all 3 to 4 layers, then go and do your actual breasts. That way, so that's the reason why I went ahead and done most of my belly layers first, and then I went and done my breasts. But I had already removed my bra to do my breasts, so I had to wait to resume my video, which is why my belly is done already. All of the layers on my belly are already done. So as you can see, it's already loosening up. It starts to dry really fast. Within like 5 to 10 minutes, it will start to come off. So you just want to make sure The more Vaseline you use, the faster it will come off. So you just want to make sure that you get it on as fast as possible once you get to the breast part. So doing the belly, my belly is already loosened up. It's already coming off from the belly. It's been coming off for a few minutes after I got it on there. So what I'm doing is I'm doing my whole chest. And then if I decide to, when it's all dry after a day, so once you remove it, you have to let it sit for a day. So once it's all dry, I will go back in with scissors and cut it to even out the edges and make it exactly how I want it to be. So you can see that this part is loosening up because I have to move my arm. So this is why you want to move as fast as possible on your breast, because you have to keep moving your arms. And then if it ruffles up on you, smooth it out. It also comes with the sanding screen, so it and you want to make sure you get those layers on there good. It needs to be 3 to 4 layers thick. So you see I need some over here.